Happy Monday and welcome back to the Healing She Got Faith show. I am Lily. I am the founder of Healing She Got Faith and I am the host of the Healing She Got Faith talk show. And welcome to episode 123. We are still in our welcome back series. So originally, what did I just say? Originally. Oh my God, cannot talk. Okay, anyways. So this episode was actually called what free time do you have? But the day I'm recording this is the day before my birthday, and so I actually want to do some life reflections. So, fun fact, I actually thought I was in my bag, and I thought I was doing good with the batch recording and just recording. So, if you don't know what that is, that's where people will record their episodes like at one time and to be able to post, which is really helpful, especially if you do it weekly. So that way, like every week, you're not rushing to post an episode. So normally I do pretty good. Normally I pre-record about 2 episodes per week. So today while I'm recording, I'll probably record episode 123 and 124 so that this Monday coming up and next Monday coming up will be ready, and then next week I'll pre-record for the following weeks. So I thought I was doing that, right? And so last Monday I woke up and I realized what day it was, and I realized the 2 episodes I recorded, I talked about like things on October 14th, and I was like, dang, I'm gonna have to post, because if I post it later, it's not gonna make sense. So anyways, fun fact, that's how that was. But I wanted to do some life reflection because tomorrow I turn 33. So by the time you guys hear this, it'll be October 21st. My birthday is October 20th, and I'm turning 33. And I just want to do some life reflection. So I think we're going to call this episode Just Because You Could Does Not Mean You Should. And as I woke up today and was getting ready, I just had a couple of reflections come to mind, and so we're going to discuss that. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into our icebreaker. All right, welcome to episode 123. It's actually 123. Welcome to episode 123. This is our affirmation. Today I switched it up. I've been pulling from the dream cards. Today I'm pulling from the self-care empowerment cards. These cards ask questions. I used to hate these cards because I hated questions, but now I like them. So let's go ahead and read what the card said. So the card says, what would my life be like if I could create anything or be anyone? How would this change my life? I love that I picked this card because this is the season I'm currently in. So what would my life be like if I could create anything or be anyone? I think for a long time, for the last 5 years, I've been really trying to create this life, this like soft girl life, this entrepreneur life, this love life. I've been really trying to create all these things, and the reality is it just wasn't working out. And so my heart was in the right place. My actions, you couldn't really tell what I was trying to do, which I think that's part of life. If I could be anyone, to be honest, I don't want to be anyone else besides myself. I look at other people and I aspire to be who they are. Like, I remember working with my first publisher, and she was just this woman on fire for God, and I loved it, and she was unapologetic about it. She reminds me of like the TD Jakes family, and I think she does work with them at this point. I don't know, we don't talk anymore, but just very fashionable, had the curly hair, just on fire for the Lord. And I just remember being like, man, like that will never be me. Like, I would just never be that Christian. I would never be that person. But she was just so unapologetic about that, and I really admired that. as I'm getting into my public speaking bag, I'm just noticing people who are just who they are, and I really love that. And there are some people that I look at, I'm like, I want to be like that. And I also realize that so much of my life, I have constantly wanted to be like everybody else. That at some point I didn't know who I was, and at some point I didn't realize like I was missing out on my life because I was trying to be like everybody else. So now I'm at a point where I really just want to be who I am, and I want to be unapologetic about it. Like I wear bright colors. I have the bright hair. I used to have the long Cardi B nails, but they annoy me now. And also too, like I just don't want to be spending all that money. And oh my gosh, I like beauty. Like we spending all this money and like the stuff is not lasting. And so yeah, I'm growing my natural nails out now. But I just want to be unapologetic about who I am. I got this thick St. Louis accent, and I want to embrace that. I want to embrace who I am. Like I've been on this body and workout journey, and I'm not the skinniest person in the world. Excuse me. My stomach be hanging over. So I don't know what is in my throat. Sorry, yeah. I'll have to edit that out. But yeah, like I'm coming into my style. Like it's so crazy because like I'm really coming into my style. People are like, you dress so cute. Like people really love the way I dress, and I'm like, I have like 5 pairs of pants. So I just want to be unapologetic about who I am. Like I want to be in rooms. I pride myself in like who I am on social media is who I am in real life. Like I pride myself in that. I'm very honest. Like I get overstimulated. I get like there's just so much going on, and I'm very open about that. So I think in this season I'm really coming into who I am and really loving who I am and really embracing who Lisa is. I think that Lisa is a beautiful person, and I love that Lisa has come to a place of, okay, this was my past, this is my present. I don't really know what my future is going to hold, but I love to see the progress in who I am. Taking a break has allowed me to see that and embrace that, and I think that's beautiful. Lisa 10 years ago would have never taken a break. Like Lisa would have bear crawled through pushing this podcast, but Lisa 10 years ago didn't have a podcast because she didn't have the tenacity and she didn't have the knowledge and the confidence to even put forth. But the today Lisa is all for that. Like coming back after a break has been powerful. Coming back after a break has been everything that I have needed, and I'm really proud of that, and I just want to be unapologetic about that. How would it change my life? So I'll talk in real time. It's changing my life because I'm setting boundaries. I'm at peace. Even I got a text message the other day that was like, you just seem so much more happier and at peace. Like whatever you're doing, like it looks good on you. My skin is clear, y'all. Like for years, for years, I have like been like, I need a morning and nighttime routine, and I just could never be disciplined enough to do it. And like this year it came together, and it probably started last year when I started going back to work and I could afford things again. Like I wasn't questioning where my next paycheck was coming from. I started trying different face products, and I finally have like a morning and night routine, and it's not too expensive, and it's not like breaking the bank, and it's so easy. I do it in the morning after I shower. I do it at night after I shower and before I go to bed. Like, and my skin is glowing. I got my hair done the other day, and my hairstylist was taking pictures. She's like, your skin is so beautiful. I'm like, thank you. I've like worked so hard for it. So I think that just speaks to like how my life is changing, working out. Like I'm in a season where I'm trying to get back into working out, but like the heart and the desire is there. I'm just trying to figure out like what makes sense and what works for me in this season. But like wanting to work out, wanting to eat better, and wanting to cook. There was a time, and I'm like really noticing that was coming out of a depression because like I actually clean every day. I have 4 dogs and a cat at home, and so like cleaning in my house is crucial. Like I used to be the person like, you don't have to clean every day, and I still think that. Like I think that sometimes our parents' rules are instilled in us, and realizing that like it's okay if there's like three dirty dishes in the sink and you get them the next day or the day after, it's okay. But like with having all those animals in my house, like sweeping is a necessity for me every single day. And as I've been cleaning my house and I've been detoxing, like my shed is almost done. Like I felt like a hoarder, but like in these years of survival, I haven't been able to like take care of me, and I'm realizing that I've been living like in depression. And so now I'm like slowly coming out, and I have the energies to clean. I have the energies to come and record the podcast. I have the energy to like just go and do things that like I always had the desire to do, but there was a blockage there. And so how has it changed my life, and just becoming the person that I want to be is literally just creating the space. Like my house is my sanctuary, and like taking care of my house and doing it. And it really does suck that I'm doing it by myself, but since that's the reality of the today of things, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm teaching myself how to groom my dogs, because I'm not gonna keep paying $500 to $600 on grooming. And like the last like 2 times, my dogs have not came out the way I wanted to. So they ain't gonna be ugly for a while until I get it. But I have a grooming kit at home, like a setup. I done bought a table. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna wash them, because I'm not washing them in the sink, and I'm not washing them in my bathtub, and it's getting cold, so I can't wash them outside. So I'm finna be innovative and figure something out. So yeah, like just being, just creating the life I want to be, and realizing and giving myself grace that like it's okay. Like you were learning, you don't have parents to like guide you through this, you don't have a man to help you with your friends. Like that's a whole different story. I love y'all, but that's a whole different story. I think we're gonna talk about it in this episode. But and I'm, to be honest, it's just I just don't have friends that have the capacity to come. Like in the last couple of years, I've asked quite a few friends like, hey, like can you help me like come clean my house and fix my house, and they just don't have the time or capacity. I do have one friend that I actually pay her like weekly to come and do a bathroom clean and a house clean like once a week, or 2 to 3 times a month at least. But if it's in the budget, I will pay her. She'll come clean my building, and she'll come clean my house weekly, as long as it's in my budget. And so that helps me a lot, because that at least keeps the bigger things clean, and then throughout the week. So anyways, that's on a tangent. So I would say that's how my life is changing, is that I'm just finally coming. I actually in this year finally feel like an adult. Like I've spent so much of my adulthood, like I can't believe I'm the freaking adult. Who did this? Who made me the adult? Who made me the adult? And I just finally feel like I got a handle on life. I got a handle on things. Things are going. Relationships are good. My life is good. Life is still lonely. I'm not gonna lie about that, but I'm still progressing. So I think in this card, instead of it saying what would my life be like, I'm saying like I'm speaking in real time. Like what is my life right now? So yeah, that was a good question. Okay. All right, y'all. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the topic of the day. All right, welcome to episode 123's topic of the day. So we're still in our welcome back series, and this episode is called "Just Because You Could Doesn't Mean You Should." So happy Monday. Okay, it's October 21st. Yesterday was my birthday, and also too on October 23rd of 2022, that would have been the grand opening of my community building. So we are also celebrating 2 years of the community building being open, as well as my 33rd birthday. And it just brought a lot of ideas and just things that came to mind. And as I woke up this morning, I was sleeping good. Yeah, I was having some good dreams too. Ooh. But then my dogs did that little bathroom crying, so I had to wake up. I be wanting to sleep in, and they straight don't let me, so that's fun. But anyways, so I woke up this morning, and I usually like wake up, wipe my eyes, go to the bathroom, and I'd be like, okay, hold on, y'all, I'm gonna take y'all out. And I'll be talking to them like they can understand me. And so I go to the bathroom. When I was in the bathroom, I realized like I was thinking about my dogs, because like this weekend I really just wanted a break, and my brother-in-law has a kennel, and I really could have taken them, but it's just a whole nother battle to like pack all those dogs up. I've been waiting on these seatbelts to come too, and they haven't came. I ordered some doggy seatbelts for my dogs because we do be in a car a lot. So I've been trying not to drive with them without their seatbelts. So they didn't come. It was just a whole another battle that like I just didn't want to do. Also too, like I'm just trying to be smart money wise, because even though they family, like they're still a small business, so I still need to pay them. So I just all this type of stuff, and I was like, man, like it really sometimes it really does suck to be by myself. Like I really do like just want help. Like I hope that like whoever my partner ends up being, like I hope that he accepts me and the dogs and the cat, and I see it, and I know it will, and I know whenever that time happens it will work out. But like that's just something I think about. And so I'm on the toilet and I'm just thinking, and then I'm like, damn. I be so hard on myself, and really be like hard on myself for saying like stuff is hard, because my whole life, like people have always just told me I was the strong person, and people have always just told me that I am like, okay, so like I used to like talk to a lot of friends and quote unquote mentors, and I'd be like, yeah, like sometimes I just wish people would like just check up on me. And I'm still saying the same conversation like years later, right? Which is that's a whole nother battle I'm battling with, right? Because why am I having these conversations year after year after year after year? So I'm like, I would literally like plead for help with my parents, with my siblings, with mentors, with jobs, and people would literally look me dead in my soul and say, you're the person we're not worried about because you'll make it happen. And while that may be true, like it just really sucks. And then on the flip side, you'll have friends that be like, well, you don't allow us to help. I have a different view of that. My view is that they don't be understanding what I be asking for. Like I have asked for help. I have asked for help in multiple ways, like with my business, with having to clean my house, with the dogs. Um, Recently, I wanted to clean out my shed, and I asked my friend that I mentioned earlier in the episode if I could pay her to come clean out my shed, and she did. I was like, I'll be there with you, but like I need another set of hands. And then I invited two other people to come, and they end up coming. We end up having like a girls chat, and just really talking about life and grief and just different things, and that was really helpful. And my point of view is that I try to plan and I try to ask, and the people that I'm asking, they really just don't have the capacity to be in my life the way I need them to be. And I think that's a hard concept. This year for my birthday, I wanted a very real life experience. I'm tired of going out to eat. I don't want to go to no club. Like, that's never been my scene. I'm tired of being by myself. So like, I created a day where it's a life experience. I also wanted to give people like the opportunity to relax, because there's been so many people who have just been saying they needed a break, and just been saying they needed relaxation. So I started planning my birthday in August, and what I wanted to do was a brunch at my building, and then we all head over to go do float therapy. If you've been listening to this podcast, I started doing float therapy back in March, and it's been a game changer for my life. So my request though was that you come to both. Like, you can't pick and choose what you can and cannot come to. My request was like, you go, because I'm trying to create and receive a very real life experience. Okay? It might sound like there's a lot of rules. It might sound like, but if you look at it from my perspective, I started working back in May. I did not have a break throughout the summer. Like, and then I did go to Costa Rica, but that was still work. Like, that was still a conference that I was assisting and presenting at. And then I worked at a camp, which during the camp, like, I didn't get any breaks. And then once I was done with camp, I went right into working my part-time job. So even though I wasn't working my full-time job full-time, because like they give us a break because of the summer, I also like went right into working my second job. Then on top of that, work started to pick up. So then I was working 7 days a week. And so this weekend was the first weekend that I got to like just be. And as bad as I wanted to be around people, like yesterday was Friday, I like slept and stayed in the bed almost all day. It took me forever to like get up and clean my house. And I really wanted to do that. I didn't do this about 9 o'clock at night because I was in bed and I just couldn't get myself to like do anything, right? So there were a couple people who said they couldn't come because they had church. There were two people in particular that I purposely asked them in August if they couldn't make way, because I knew that they have positions in the church. And back in August, they said no. Cool. What happened was, I feel that they didn't understand why. One, I was like, you can't pick and choose. Like, you just can't come, because I don't want you to pick and choose. And so during the brunch, they had church and they wanted to come float. There was a couple reasons for that, and the reasons were like, you can't be late to floating. Like, the floating is a very strict schedule, and if you want to get your money's worth and all that. But also too, like, I wanted to create a safe space for people, because people are nervous to float and people don't quite understand what it is. People, like, it's a very vulnerable place to be. And so like, the whole purpose of me doing a float party was to like gather everybody at the beginning and get everybody together, kind of go through some questions, get people relaxed, and then we all go over to float therapy together. And then that way, and I even rented it out to where nobody else could book. So like, mind you, I'm also paying out of pocket to like book these slots. And so the thing about that is, like, again, you can't really be late. And like, unfortunately, like, a lot of my friends just be late to things. And so like, just being very open and honest about like, this is what was needed for myself. I had one friend who was like, hey, like, I see that your invitation says you would like us at both. I have church that morning. Unfortunately, I can't come to both. So go ahead and give that spot to somebody else, and we'll plan a different day. And that was it. And to be honest, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted for this birthday. Like, if you couldn't come, like, I'm a woman. I'm a grown woman at that. So I get it. Life happens. And if you are in church, working out, sober, on your own journey, I will never be the person to be like, well, you should put me first. No, I'm just asking for consideration. In this time, like, that friend that did that, like, to me, that showed that, like, she really loved and cared for me. And that's all I want. I've been having the same conversation with people about quality time for years now. That's all I wanted. And for this year, my birthday, I was just requesting 4 to 6 hours of your time out the year for one day. That's it. That's it. That's all. If you can't commit to that, that's fine. But like, don't be upset with me because you think I'm doing too much. And that was really hard for me this year because I was just like, dang, like I have literally like taken off work for birthdays. I have worked both jobs and still showed up. I've showed up when I really just shouldn't have because like I get it. Like I love community. It also sucks because I see a lot of my friends having fun with other people. I tend to feel like the trash can. I tend to feel like people just come to me when their life is in shambles, but people don't really come to me like when their life is good. And that really sucks because I'd be like, I want to have fun too. Like, I want to have fun. So I wanted a very real life experience. And with that being said, like, there were a couple people who, like, they came. I probably had, like, a good 4 or 5 people that came. Was like, yeah, I can come to the brunch or I can come to the flow. And I'm like, oh, well, like, not to be harsh or anything, but like don't worry about coming because the way I have it set up is that like I really need people at both. So if you can't, there's no issues. I can, we can figure something else out. And that's all I wanted. Like I just wanted people to just like be open to quality time. I had another friend, she's actually my coworker too, who realized that she would be working. And she said it too. She's like, you're not going to do anything after 3 p.m. on Sunday? And I was like, no, because we have to go to work on Monday. And the week after my birthday, like the day that this episode comes out, that week is going to be terribly busy. And like on Monday, like as this episode is coming out, I will be with a bunch of middle schoolers. Like, no, I need to go to bed. I got a lesson plan that I need to review. Like, no, I need to go to bed. So, but instead of her being upset, she was literally like, okay, well, if you're not doing anything on Saturday, let's go to lunch. Cool. It's just the effort of having it's the effort of being able to say like, hey, like I see you, I hear you, I know I can't support you the way you need it, but also too, like, this is what we're doing. So anyways, a couple people reached out and was like, well, I'll come to this. And I'm like, no, like, it's okay. And I was so proud of myself because I stood my ground. I set those boundaries. Like, this is what I wanted for my birthday. I completely understand if you can't do it, but this is what I want. Let's figure something else out. And again, like, it's no hard feelings, and I didn't feel bad. I mean, I didn't feel ill will towards anybody. It was literally like, okay, think about it like this. When you get an invitation from a wedding, what do they ask you on the invitation? Can you come? Yes or no? It would be like, yes, I would love to be in attendance. I really want to be there, but unfortunately I can't. Period. That's all I wanted. Also, too, if we go back to the title of the episode, just because you could doesn't mean you should. I could have told them, yeah, just come to the brunch. Don't worry about going to Flow. Or, oh, yeah, come to Flow. Don't worry about coming to... I could have said that, but that's not what I wanted. I didn't want that. I even had one of my friends that was like, well, you know that some of the people you love go to church, so I just would think that would be a consideration. And it was. But just because the result wasn't what you wanted or even what I wanted doesn't mean I didn't consider you. At the end of the day, I can't help that my birthday ended on a Sunday. I'm sorry. Like, that's not my fault. But also, too, like, I have been working 7 days a week, so if I just want a Sunday to myself from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. with the people I love the most, I'm not gonna apologize for that. And so many times in life, we really could adjust for other people, but in this moment, like, I really wanted this for myself. And I was actually going to cancel because of a couple people who couldn't come. And one of my other friends, bless her heart, she was like, Lisa, this is what you want to do. This is what you need to do. This is what you want to do, so this is what you need to do. Don't let people's absence deter you. And I told her, I said, but I'm so tired of doing things by myself. She said, I get it, but I promise you people will come. And they did. And I actually ended up being booked out and having no more space for anybody else to tag along. So people who like, I'll do this, I'll do that, we literally have no more space. And it's probably less than 10 people. If it is 10 people all together. And I think it's just such a beautiful thing that people made the effort, because that's all I wanted. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about this and I'm wondering, like, why do I feel so bad about like having standards and having this type of like encounter with my, with the people I love? And one of the reasons is my whole life I've been told I'm so strong and I'll make it happen. And so my whole life has been in survival trying to make it happen. My whole life has been in this set of like, I can do it, I'm strong enough. Like having 4 dogs right now, like when people be like, ooh, that's low, I'm like, oh no, it's fine. You know why I say that? Because my whole life I've been told, oh, you're so strong, you can make it happen. It'll be okay. You got it. It will always be okay. It's always okay with you. I'm literally sitting here picking myself up from years of survival. And I feel so bad because I've never had the safe space to be like, man, like this really sucks. Like, I get it. Like, the power of the tongue is great. But I also think we get so positively toxic that we forget the human part of things. And I talk about that a lot on this podcast. And so, yes, my life is great. I have a building, I have books, I'm blah, 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 blah. And I have all of that and I love it. But also, too, it really sucks to always have to do things by yourself. I wasn't made to do things by myself. Just because I could do it by myself doesn't mean I should do it by myself, right? Just because I could work with kids doesn't mean I should work with kids. Just because I'm good at teaching doesn't mean I should teach. So I think like a lot of times somebody said something to me. They was like, yeah, I see all these people with all these talents and they try to limit their talents when they could do everything. And I told that person, I said, I don't want to do everything. I want to limit myself to 1 to 2 talents. That's what I want to do. And so having that reflection and realization as I woke up this morning was like, dang, like I'm walking into 33 with these realizations, and I'm walking into 33 realizing that, wow, like I've been fighting a battle that I didn't even know. Like I haven't been in therapy for a couple months now because at the time I didn't have consistent money. It was getting expensive. Also too, I just felt like I didn't know if I was really progressing with that therapist, which I love her. I had her for 3 years. I was trying to figure out how to say that. I had her as a therapist for 3 years, so she's great. She's amazing. But also too, I ended up getting 2 jobs who provide therapy for free, and so I was like, if I can get it for free, and I just haven't been able to like actually utilize the therapy resources, which that's going to be on my November goal list, is to reach out to see realistically, can I, do I have time to even go to therapy? But I wish I could call her and have that realization, like, man, like you've been trying to tell me, like my whole life I've been waving this red flag, this white flag, like, hey, I'm here. Hey, like literally, like she was like, I would hold up a sign like this, like, hey, Lisa's here. Go girl, Lisa's here, and nobody cared. Like literally nobody cared. And I know, again, people be like, well, we do care, we do. And the reality is, like, the people that I want here, they just don't have the capacity to be here. They don't have, the thing about the today of things is everybody is going through something. Everybody is. And I know that, and I see that, and I hear that. And so long and so much of my life, I've always just made way to be there for people. And probably about 3 years back, I decided like I can no longer be there for everybody. And I even started to realize like I was that person that had hundreds and thousands of friends, and I'm like, man, like I cannot, continue to be there for everybody. I can't, show up. Like there were times where I'm trying to make way for people and make way for just having just sorry, somebody's calling me and I'm so distracted. Because I put my phone on do not disturb and they bypassed it, and I hate that. um, for so much of my life, I've just been just always showing up for other people and having to make the decision that I can. Like, literally, there were times where, like, every free night that I had, like, I was trying to get dinner with a friend and trying to do this and trying to do that, and I just couldn't. And also, too, I was doing the planning, and I hate it. Like, I'm at a point in my life where I really just do not want to do the planning anymore. Like, I'm tired. Last year was a really was really eye opening for me, because I just was like, I'm doing all this planning and people keep canceling on me, and I'm just tired because I'm putting my heart and soul into it, and I just can't anymore. I literally can't. So, anyways, so literally, anyways, like, I just had to make that decision. And so as I'm walking into this chapter 33, I'm practicing with myself. Just because you could doesn't mean you should. I could have adjusted for my birthday, but I didn't want to. I could have, but it didn't mean I should. I could have I could have signed up with my job to go work at a school from 7 to 3 and be really, really good at it, but I would hate it. So just because I could doesn't mean I should. I could, yeah, like, a lot of people don't know, like, I have a whole grant writing certificate. But when I went into grant writing, I hated it. Like, it was so tedious. It wasn't it's a good side hustle. It's a good career. I hate it though. So I really could, but it doesn't mean I should. I could be a teacher. I could go substitute teach. Do I want to? No. And so I think, like, in that, reminding myself that, like, in this chapter, you are really going to be about yourself, and it's going to be uncomfortable. But just because you could do something doesn't mean you should. And I think, like, you should keep that in mind. And I think a lot of people in my generation need to realize that too. So I think, like, as I'm walking into 33, like, I don't think I had that realization just for the hell of it. I think that was God, like, really showing me, like, hey, we're walking into this chapter, and there's going to be certain things that are going to change, and we're moving forward with it. We going through with it. Like, to be honest, I was like, I'm gonna record these 2 episodes for today so that I don't have to worry about it for this week or next week. Like, yeah, I don't feel pretty right now. Like, I feel like I did my hair in this bun that I thought was cute, but I'm looking at it on camera, like, my body, I'm just not happy with it right now. I'm ready for my birthday. Like, I'm hungry. Um, and there's so many things. But I think in chapter 33, what I really want to do is every day make an intentional decision of what I could do, what I should do, and what I am and what I'm not going to do. So, and I think, like, I'm really excited for chapter 33. I'm really excited for this life. I just did a speaking engagement to over 100 high schoolers, 9th through 11th grade. Like, I just a couple months ago, my friend reached out. She's a social worker. We used to work together. We've stayed in contact over the years, and she's now a social worker at a high school. She reached out to me because a student had passed away. So months ago, before the student passed away, she was like, I think we need you to come up here and speak about grief. I'm like, absolutely. Then the student died. Then she was like, okay, we really need you up here, blah, blah, blah. Cool. So then, just with the way my life was, like, it was taking me a while to get the paperwork in and contact, and finally the day before I was able to get everything in and text them like, hey, I got everything in, are we still good to go? They was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, by the way, how many kids are going to be? Because in my head, I thought I was just going to speak to a classroom or an advisory class, and they were like, oh, it's going to be 100 to 125 kids. Yeah, my heart, oh my gosh. But I live for speaking. Like, that's something I wanted to do. I've always wanted to be a speaker since I was in high school. That was one of the best speaking engagements. Yeah, on my TikTok, one of the high schoolers texted me. Let me read this text to y'all. Oh my God. Let me read this text to y'all. Let me see. Where is my inbox? Let me see. Where is my inbox? The Inbox be TikTok's inbox be confusing me. That's what. Oh, here we go. This is from a high school, y'all. It says, "Dear Lisa, I wanted to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude for your beautiful speech on grief. Your words resonated deeply with all of us, weaving together the complexities of loss with a sense of hope and healing. You spoke with such honesty and grace, creating a safe space for reflection and understanding. It was a true gift to have you share your insights with our school community, reminding us that while grief can be a heavy burden, it also connects us to our shared humanity. Thank you for coming and for inspiring us to embrace our emotions with courage and compassion. Your presence has left a lasting impact on our hearts. Thank you for coming to our high school." This is a high schooler that said that, y'all. A high schooler, like, and it's so beautiful because I love public speaking and I love high school, and I was scared to do it, and that was something that I could do and I should do, okay? And it left such an impact. Then yesterday, I'm checking my email, and I had applied to be a speaker at a millennial social work conference that I went to last year that I talked about on the podcast, and they accepted me. And so, like, when I took this break and I started setting boundaries, the things that I've always wanted are now coming to me. I'm now attracting them to me just because I took the break and set the boundary. The people in my life that I love dearly may not be able to show up for me, but that doesn't mean that I limit my boundaries. I continue with my boundaries, and I watch God do the work, and I watch the things that I pray for come into me. One of the jobs that I have right now, I've prayed for it over a decade, and it's in my hands. The part-time job, I remember like going to places like, I'm gonna work here one day, and it's happening. But it took for me to like be in a mental better place and be in a place to where I had to protect myself and set those boundaries. It's uncomfortable. And I think a lot of times we tend to go towards I'm the villain in the story. It's not about being the villain. It's about being who you truly are, like the card, like our icebreaker said. What would my life be like if I could create anything or be anyone? Be who you're created to be. This is who I'm created to be, and I need to embrace it. So, I think I'm going to end there. I think that's a beautiful ending, and I'm really excited. The next time I see you guys, I will be 33, and I'm really excited for this chapter. I'm really excited for this podcast and what's to come. In November and December, we're going to have quite a few guests, and I'm trying to schedule that out and plan that, and I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for my life. I'm really excited to see what's to come. So always remember, just because you just because you could doesn't mean you should. But I love you, but always remember to love you the way you love the world. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. So I just did a speaking engagement for over 100 kids, and let me tell you. All right, welcome back to episode 123's affirmation. And today's affirmation is real simple. It says, I understand that just because I could does not mean I should. And we're going to keep it at that. We just did a whole episode on just because you could doesn't mean you should. And I think from today to next Monday, just repeat this affirmation. I understand that just because I could does not mean I should. And I want you to embrace that, think about it, meditate on it. I want you to know that you do have many talents and you could shut yourself thin. But I want you to protect your peace, protect your boundaries, protect your body, and know that you are worthy no matter what you do or don't do. So I understand that just because I could does not mean I should. I love you all, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.